I mean, maybe. Priscilla might have some pretty sweet gigs. Like, I don't know, you could be part of her footlicking brigade.
Listen, if Priscilla lets like me be like a footstool, I'm all about it. Just put me in. I'm ready to live this life. Step on me.
She needs foot soldiers.
I'm.
Oh my god! I can't believe you went there. Did it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pretty Fly for Senpai. I've been trapped with Shark and Hero in a death loop. This is our seventh loop.
Oh, good.
And then ants came out of my eyeballs and out of all my guts. And then all of my limbs got twisted. All of my friends died in front of me. But I'm doing okay. I'm Shark Wellington. I'm fine.
Glad to hear that you're doing better now, Shark. The last loop was a rough one.
It was. I'm still stuck at the Apple stand. I don't even know what's happening right now.
Oh no.
I'm Hero 19X.
Oh no.
Don't trust the Appa's Hero. I can tell you that from loop number 4. Why did they need to like rename the Apple?
Why?
Everything else is the same. They weren't like, I'm gonna hit you with my pointy dinger.
What? I mean, that's what Subaru wants to do, but
Oh my god! No.
Oh no.
right out the gate.
Got him. Let's talk about what a dickhead Subaru is.
Oh,
Get right down to the meat of it ASAP.
Let's get down to the meat of it. Subaru is such a fucking dweeb.
I hate Subaru. He's dead to me.
I understand, like, he has character development throughout this season, but he like barely develops in the first half, and then he develops like slightly more in the second half. And like in the first half, he turns from I'm the main character in one of my video game isekai mangas to okay, I can be trustworthy in some form. Huzzah. But I'm still gonna treat ladies like shit. And because I succeeded the once, this woman is now my property. And I need to control every aspect of her life. And if I can't do it for her, she certainly can't do it for herself.
Oh my god. Subaru's just he thinks that women are incompetent, maybe, I guess, in a way. I don't know. I probably not.
No, he
but...
definitely thinks that.
Yeah. You know, there aren't that many. Well, I guess there are. But the male characters, he definitely does not treat that same way. He absolutely has never like, except for I guess like the first time he meets Roswaal, he's like he like says he looks like a clown.
But he still respects him as an entertainer.
He respects the craft. Yeah.
I respect the craft.
Yeah, but he definitely like it definitely feels like every time he like meets a female character, he's like, "Oh, you're so cute when you think you know what you're doing. You think you're a full person." Like,
I love when he does that to Felix.
Oh my gosh, yes.
God.
Actually, I didn't even think about that kind of 180 where like he first talks to Felix as though Felix were a woman, and then Felix is like, "Actually, I'm a boy."
Just a cute little cat boy.
And he's just decided, "Well, you can't be a boy and look like that. 'Cause I say so.
I can't be this adorable and dress like a man, so
I have a problem with pretty boys. They make me feel things."
They make me confused.
Oh no. I think that the part where I hate him the most, there's like a 6-episode stretch from episode 12 to episode 17, 18 in that range, where he is just the most insufferable prick because he is constantly being called out for how selfish he's being.
Yep.
He keeps saying, you know, he barges into the royal selection thing and goes, I need to help Amelia achieve her dreams. And then, that loop goes tits up after he gets his ass kicked by Julius Jaculius.
Julius Jaculius.
Canon name. I'm going to say that as much as I can. Just as an FYI. Then when he's negotiating with Crusch and Anastasia, he is only thinking about himself and being selfish while saying, well, I'm doing this for Amelia. I'm doing this for her.
Where you're technically doing it for yourself.
Yeah. And they're calling him out directly and saying, why are you being so... You understand that by doing this, you're actually... By asking us for help, you're calling into question her ability to lead the country and forfeiting her right to be the ruler. So just making sure you're aware that you're not doing it for her. And he's like, but it's for her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's the thing that really kind of gets me a few different times about the way that Subaru talks to other people, is that he has such a hard time with the idea that just because you are feeling passionate or like you're clearly upset or whatever, he that's like his whole reasoning. He's like, well, clearly because I'm upset about this thing, I'm telling the truth, right? It's like, you've given me nothing to work with. You've just said, please trust me, but you haven't given any proof, any reason for me to work with you, whatever. Like, you gotta understand, I have needs too. Subaru.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the freaking part where he like Amelia's like, hey, Subaru, listen, come here close. I have one request. I have one singular thing I need from you. Please don't go. And like, she's like, the door is barely shut behind her. He's like, so I'm going, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
spend the day with Rem. Rem is best. Why are you wasting your time?
Rem is best, though. The thing that gets me about Subaru's like fight with Emelia is all of these things, all these problems with him doing stuff for himself and not for everybody. She knows, she's aware. She is like telling him to stop doing the things he's doing, and he's just not listening because he beat his head against the wall so hard in the mansion arc that he made it through, and he's trying to do that again, but it's clearly not working because this is like a purely political problem. And I don't know. I think in that scene when they're fighting, when she says, I guess we just can't be together anymore. It's interesting because in my mind, the phrase "a fate worse than death" pops up because to him it kind of is. Yeah, the only reason he's doing anything is for her, and since he's died a bunch, it's not that big of a deal to him. Well, I mean, it is clearly because he has mental break there at some point, but this is a problem that dying can't solve. Like all his other problems that he's had. I mean, that's kind of a yikes way to say it, I guess, but
I guess while we're tossing around quotes that sort of connect, I also sort of thought when you were talking about how he just beats his head against the wall, it brings to mind, like, he will do the correct thing when all other options have been exhausted.
Oh my God.
It's so true. It's so true.
It is.
Like, he was desperately trying to not have to get someone else's help to get back to help Emelia and handle the sky whale.
Yeah. The sky whale. Yeah, the white whale. and yeah.
And then he figures it all out in one go. Like, he suddenly becomes a master negotiator.
Bro, that's like the one major like plot hole that irritates me the most out of this series. Is you said it exactly, where he all of a sudden has a talk with Rem and he's like, I know everything about the region and the area that the white whale patrols, and now I'm going to offer those things up to these people so that they will come help me kill the white whale. It's a real big, like, that's the most major plot contrivance.
He pieced together from the fact that Crusch's people were buying a lot of steel or metal or something, and one aside where someone said to Wilhelm, things are getting in place for the plan.
The plan.
That's right.
He just clearly they're buying steel to kill the white whale and not potentially slit all our throats in our sleep and take over the kingdom or anything. That's
Of course.
Wouldn't that be awkward?
Oh God.
The militarist candidate for the royal selection surely would never do such a thing.
No, never.
It's like the one point of Deus Ex Machina that doesn't make sense. It's just that one negotiation scene. I agree.
I mean, Subaru's a feet guy. We find that out.
Oh my gosh, that's freaking.
I forgot. Let's talk about feet. Hero, what do you got to say about feet?
So I will. The only thing I will say about Subaru, it takes a lot of balls to do something for someone that much that you want to lick someone's foot. I mean, you don't know where her foot has been, and especially in this economy, it's all dirt roads.
Oh my gosh!
In this economy,
I mean. And he didn't. I was thinking to myself, okay, so on the next loop, he's gonna not lick her foot, then, right? But like that just never comes back again. He just decides, nah, I'm just gonna whatever.
We're not gonna deal with her. She's crazy.
That is true. They didn't even deal with her.
That was just like that was wild. I don't know if like I would have just been like, okay, all right, she says he's like. Oh, I don't even remember like what she says, but she's like, oh, like because you would lick my foot, that means you are a desperate worm, and I will have nothing to do with you.
He's a pig. He's a swine.
He's a swine.
It's like, you told me to.
I'm just doing what you asked.
Tell me what you really want. What do you actually want here? I can't read people at all. I'm Subaru Natsuki. Have you not noticed?
I'm an idiot. Couldn't you tell? The most malignant narcissist in anime. Let's go.
So I think everyone gets it. Subaru's dumb.
Subaru's dumb. Subaru's an idiot. I mean, he does like kind of redeem himself near the end. But but they save that for like the last like 2 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
when he has his head in Emelia's lap in the field and is like, I'm sorry for thinking you're a weak woman and can't do things on your own. I was really just trying to save you for me. And I'm like, oh, so he did know that he was doing it for him finally. He's finally owned up to it. It took him 25 episodes.
That's all it did. That's all it took.
Took him like 25 death loops, and now we're fine. We made it. We did it. We finally did it. But the fact that he starts like getting like wicked harem energy near the end also is real weird.
Yeah, I agree.
The fact that Crusch at the end is like, dang, you're an interesting guy, wink. And he's like, boy, if I didn't already have a number 1 and number 2 in my heart, that would have been really tough for me to reject you.
Oh, you would have been my number 3.
Boy, if I weren't just swimming in women right now, I would, I mean, are you available on the weekends? I don't know. We'll work it out.
They're just so lucky that they forget all the stupid shit he's done when he dies.
Yeah.
Thank God. God.
I actually honestly thought that like when I thought he was gonna die and return back to like before he got in like the fight with Julius. I thought he was gonna like respawn back before the fight, and I was actually kind of happy that was retained because I was like, he's getting way too many free passes.
Yeah.
Finally, he gets to catch some heat for some bullshit that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just, yeah, it's weird. It gets wild. It turns into, I don't know why he is so infatuated with Emelia, other than he's obsessed with the idea of her. You know.
There's like no substance there at all. She's like the first woman that he saw.
Oh no, you're right. I didn't even...
Like
Then you got Rem, true waifu, coming out of nowhere, saying, "Bro, I love you." And what Subaru says, "Fuck you." That's what he says.
he did not actually say that. By the
No,
way.
but he didn't. But that's how I felt when I was watching the anime.
We may as well talk about episode 18 then.
Absolutely.
What we'll talk about the monologue episode. Shark, give me your opinion. How do you feel as the Rem and Subaru dueling, dialogue episode went along?
Few different feelings. The thought occurred to me that I'm really kind of curious what would have happened if Rem had actually been like, okay, sure, let's just go out into the wilderness. Like, I half feel like what would happen would be like one of those sort of Final Destination things where like a wheel falls off of a cart and hits a wild animal, and that wild animal runs into a tree, and then that tree falls on him or something, and he's back in the loop again, like he can't escape.
Just can't escape. You can't run from your fate.
But it's like, even I don't even particularly even Subaru can't put into words why he likes Emelia so much, and Rem is flat out offering to just support him until he can become literate and hold down a job like a functioning adult. Rem is like, I've thought about this, we could live in a little cottage. I'll support your lazy butt for a few years until please get a job.
She came up with that plan real fast. She's been fantasizing.
Yeah, and support our future children, please.
Two's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we'd have a couple kids, and like, yeah, she's like got a life with him pieced together. And he's like, I mean, but there's Emelia, and she's pretty, even if she does hate my guts. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that gets me about that episode is she even says after that, she's all like, I can tell that you're not saying that out of love for me. You're saying that because you just want to run away from your problems. So we're not going to do that.
Damn.
Everyone could just read through him.
I feel the feels when Subaru's like, I hate myself. I try to be big, bombastic, Chad gamer, strong boy, but deep down inside, I'm really just a soft, sad boy. Like, I understand why people would like it for that, but I the whole thing at the end when she's like, here's the deal, my dude, I love you. And he's like, you could be my backup. I know I just confided in you my deep-seated inferiority complex with my sister about being her replacement, but, I guess I can be your relationship replacement if things with Emelia don't work out.
Like, they have both confided in each other at this point. They have both pretty much just totally opened themselves up to one another and been supportive to one another. And yeah, I don't know, like he sat on Emelia's lap once, It's like,
yeah, like in this loop, what has he done with Emelia? Like, let's go touch on that, I guess.
Yeah, there's like in the grand scheme of things, because of all the loops, he doesn't actually have that much established relationship from Emelia's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
like he's experienced a ton of stuff with all the characters, and he keeps expecting that experience to carry over after they've all had their memories wiped and turned back. So he like breaks down crying like, I can't believe you hate me. We've been through so much together. Do you remember that time? No, I've never met you in my entire life. What are you talking about? Hello?
I think every average gamer would know if they were put in the same predicament after like the first loop or two, if people don't even after the first loop when the Appa guy was just like, hey kid, it's like, bro, no one remembers you when you die.
It took so long to figure that out.
It took like 4 loops.
Do we want to talk a little bit more about Rem though? Because we're getting lost.
Let's keep talking about Rem. We talked enough about this Subaru doofus. Let's talk about
That's true. We don't want the whole podcast to be about Subaru.
So like, something that really bugged me was that after Rem has multiple times been real clear that, you know, she has feelings for Subaru and that she's going to push those aside for his sake and do her best to support him with Emelia. He keeps hugging her and talking to her in ways that really kind of bug me. He keeps like leading her on, and I kind of hate that a lot. Like he hugs her just a little too tight, you know, with like a little stroke on the back, like, oh, this is the friendliest hug ever. Thank you so much, Rem.
the stroke on the back.
It just feels mean. Like if I knew someone was interested in me, I would not hug them that way. You know?
Not even like a tight hug. Like, you know what I mean? Just a hug. Like when you give a tight hug, you're I don't know, you're conveying feelings, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they talk real horny during the white whale fight to each other.
Yep.
We're gonna need a much bigger sword, Rem.
Are you ready for the climax?
Oh yeah, that's what's the line.
Look at this giant tree. It really gets you fired up, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then he falls out of the sky and his head slams into her tits. And he's like, and she's like, thank you for the treat.
Oh my gosh. I'm still sad about the tree though. That tree didn't do nothing wrong.
The tree was just there.
Big tree.
That tree was just vibing. Didn't have to go down like that.
I mean, hey, if you were gonna go down, you may as well go down and take out a big beefy boy, eh?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that whole episode leading up to like the whale fight was real cool too though. Like I could feel the tension as well.
It's real good.
Like it's sort of I guess sort of like my sort of point that I can relate from when I was in like middle and high school, I would run cross country, which is like, you know, a guy shoots a gun and now you got to run for 3.1 miles. Have fun. And it sucks a little bit. And you wake up that morning and you're like, some guy's going to shoot a gun in the air and I'm going to have to run 3.1 miles. So like, I know that sort of tense feeling of like, stuff's about to go down. Like, just the whole, you know, them riding there on their dinosaur type things.
Ground dragons.
The ground dragons, yeah. Yeah, and Ricardo hyping everybody up, like, oh, we got this. But yeah, like Ricardo's like trying to loosen up everybody's spirits, like, and they're all just, you know, they're waiting and they know what time stuff's gonna happen, so they're just calming each other's nerves, talking about giant trees, you know, and then like time's coming and they all get in position, like, and then the giant sky whale shoots the gun or sets the cell phone off.
Just shoots the gun.
Shoots the gun.
It comes out of the sky with a gun.
The cell phone coming out though, the cell phone ring. Oh my god, the audio direction of that whole like segment of it just like diegetic in world, you hear it, and then like the noise goes away and it starts glitching out with the editing. And it becomes non-diegetic. It's so good. It's such a good choice. Because then all of a sudden, like, strings are coming in and accompanying this little simple 8-bit ringtone.
Definitely, this anime has a good feel for, like, making an epic moment.
Mm-hmm.
That whole, like, the tenseness. And the funny thing was, in the back of my head, I was thinking about how there are probably some guys there that are like the alarm's going off and it's not coming and people are like, is this whale coming? Like, we kind of all came We kind of brought a giant army, so this guy better not be wrong.
Speaking of epic moments, what's y'all's favorite epic moment? Hero, what's your favorite epic moment from the series?
I would say my favorite epic moment was when Rem went into the woods and went full out like demon mode and just started slaying like the mob beasts left and right. It was cool because you know that like Rem wasn't doing it for her. She was trying to help Subaru because Subaru helped them. But it was so cool.
She's so badass.
She is, and it just everything like just the way everything looked it looked really good.
Yeah.
And I like how at the end what they had to do to make her stop. Just give her a whack on the head.
Yeah, I would love to see her fight some more. Like the way that they just like it looked very fluid anytime like the chain mace came out.
She defied like physics at some point. She like threw her ball and chain out, and then while it's going out, she like grabs the chain and does like a flip on it like it's a stationary bar. It's so good. Rem is most badass girl and best girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that scene where like they have to calm her down and he like throws Rom.
That's right.
Promise you won't be mad. Yeah, like the first time I watched that, I thought that she had her horn broken off. So I was like,
oh yeah,
I was nervous at first, like, oh, but like apparently you can just smack her real good and that'll just knock her out. I don't know.
It's like the demon version of smelling salts or something. Little tap on the horn.
I guess like does it have to be like on? Yeah, does it have to be on the horn? Like what are the logistics here? Like does it have to be on the horn? Can you just like knock her out cold with a slap? I don't know.
I think it said in the anime it had to be knocked her on the horn.
Okay.
Knock the mana right out of it.
And like he was just using like a sword that like a townsperson had given him. It wasn't even anything fancy.
Yes,
I think they said it was like it was made by the best smith or something like that in the town.
and it breaks immediately.
I mean, it's a pretty small town. It's also the only smith we've got, but you know, semantics.
In this town of 35 people, we got 25 smiths, don't you know?
There's only one good one.
It's only one good one, and his sword still broke almost immediately.
Probably for me personally, I would say the moment that really sticks out the most to me for sure is like the end of the loop where Subaru first met Sloth.
Betelgeuse.
Betelgeuse, yeah. And Rem tries to save him and ends up getting like just contorted and like, but she's still alive and he's like carrying her broken body and like the town is snowed over and he just sees this giant beast and it's just like chink, like just cuts his head off like it's nothing. And then we get like a minute of like this really sad song. Like I was just like, oh, this is like profoundly sad. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that whole loop was interesting to me because like you can view it two ways. It's either you think Subaru is faking it, like Betelgeuse thinks, or you could think he actually has like mind broken. Either way, it's like, oh, this is what happens when Subaru does nothing. He's thinking like, if he's faking it, he's like, well, maybe if I just don't do anything, things will work out.
it's like you can't even just flop down and refuse to do anything because you're still gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole God, I love when they introduce Betelgeuse. His voice actor goes ham. They go ham with that performance.
I think that voice actor for him too does the same voice for Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail.
Oh snap!
Like I'm fact checking right now, but I think that's what it is. Oh wow, he freaking did Ling Yao in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, what? No way. Really?
Yeah.
I don't hear that at all in that voice. Man, he really went for it though. He and it's the vocal performance needs to be cranked up to 11 to match his mannerisms, cuz my god, he is such an iconic character just from a mannerisms perspective. The whole like even when his spirit embodies other people, it's still him because of the mannerisms, and the other voice actors do a good job of taking on those mannerisms too. Like the whole 90-degree head tilt when Subaru gets like taken over, and you're like, oh no.
Right, yeah. That was like I thought for a moment maybe he was like faking it to try to get away, and then his head like cracks like to the left or something. I was like, oh, okay, no, he's not faking it.
No, he's actually crazy. He does the Matrix like head grab, lean back. It's no. He's got a strong core to be able to do that though. That's doesn't skip ab day.
He's doing like yoga bridges like every once in a while.
My abs are trembling. He does those planks, man.
My abs are trembling.
He anyway, yeah, no. God, I love Betelgeuse though. As a character, I love him, but also as a human being, I fucking hate him because boy, he's a real piece of trash.
Yeah, it's hard too because I know more, and but as of right now, yes, he is a complete and total asshole.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm currently in the dark, so I'll keep that in mind, I guess. But like, it's not even obvious kind of what exactly his objectives are, I want to say. He's always talking about the ritual, but we're not really quite made certain what that is.
I feel like now that you mention, I think he kind of explains it that like he wants to turn Emelia into a vessel for Satella.
Oh.
It's like 2 lines are said about it, and then we're done with this. This is all the information you get. So I might be inferring more than is actually there, but
yeah, they do quite a bit of like breadcrumbs, I want to say, and I really hope that they wrap up a few of those in the second season. Like there's a few times that there's just like asides that I'm like, all right, interesting. Do I get to know any more, or is that it? like Roswaal wants to declare war on the dragons or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He's like keeping Rom alive or something with his magic.
There are a lot of things we don't know about him. Like it seems oddly convenient that he happened to show up to save Rom and Rem when right after the witches cult were there.
Very superstitious.
Little
Yeah, we don't really. Well, we do at least see him fly.
Yes, he flies.
Aside from that, we don't really see him like casting too many spells, though.
He's the most powerful magic user in the world right now, as far to my knowledge. Besides that, maybe Reinhardt with his big, fun, flashy sword boy. But like, who else in the universe can just fly?
Yeah.
Besides, I guess Betelgeuse, who is one of the like archbishops of sin, one of like the 7 most powerful evil magicians in the world. Like,
as a quick aside, I remember like the part where he's like riding on the hands, and I'm like, so if other people can't see the hands, he's just sitting there, right? And then it shows he's just like sitting in the air and floating.
Oh yeah, when the 2 like cat kids are like,
yeah.
Oh my god, he's floating.
Yeah, I loved that.
It's so good.
But yeah, like Roswaal, Roswaal, like just off screen, just totally handles all the mob beasts in the forest around the town. But then they come back in time to like help out when they're fighting Betelgeuse though. But like yeah, like Subaru just like gets knocked unconscious and then they just transition. They're like, yeah, those mob beasts, not a problem. Every single one's gone. We know for a fact Roswaal does not make mistakes.
I would like to see how they did it. I don't know. Like maybe like a quick pan as they're talking about it. Maybe like some. I don't know.
Yeah, like a little flashback to like watching Roswaal cackling maniacally as he carpet bombs the forest would be. I'd like that.
I would have laughed. I would have enjoyed.
Need that little insert when Rem goes, "Oh, it's okay. He took care of them," and you see Roswaal go, "Oh,
that was so good."
It's
just like a quick cut where he's just like got his face lit up.
Yeah,
this is what I live for.
That would have been good. Oh, Roswaal's just an enigma. While we're just talking about him real quick, he's real creepy. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about Roswaal because when like Subaru's bathing and Roswaal just rolls in and is like, "Hello, pretty boy." And Subaru's like, "Please don't touch me." And Roswaal's like, "You're my property, you know."
Yeah, he's like, "You're inside my house and everything in my house is mine, including you."
Oh.
In this bathtub with me.
Like, yo, will you turn it down a notch, groomer? Like, my goodness.
I like it almost feels like he's being purposefully weird. Like everything about him seems like
I can see that.
it's meant to be a little bit off. Like the way his voice lilts a bit when he talks, and that he pretty much does put on makeup like a clown. Like he does straight up look like a clown.
He does. For a second I thought I remembered it being like his skin was just that color, but then no, in the bath scene he does not have makeup on. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it almost feels like one of those things where like maybe he's trying to be like so people underestimate him or something. Like he's so powerful that like somebody sees him and thinks, who's this weirdo? And then he just like nukes the area and moves on.
What a guy.
What a guy.
What a Chad.
I mean, you gotta have some self-confidence to walk around in that getup.
Yeah.
Like you cannot falter in your
You have to own it.
You have to own it.
Hey, if you got it, flaunt it, you know?
You know, true. Hey, if I was ripped like him, I'd wear clown makeup. Also,
All day.
all day, every day.
We haven't talked about Beatrice yet.
All right, yeah.
Oh shit! How did I forget about other best girl?
I would highly agree with that. With my knowledge, but as of right now, yeah. I'm sorry.
Dang it, hero.
I'm sorry. I've literally.
We're in season 1.
I'm getting information confused, and that's why like I keep looking back at the notes just to make sure that I'm not saying things. But I like how Subaru is the only person in this entire mansion who can open a door and find Beatrice.
It's so good.
Yeah, and they never explain it.
Doesn't need to. That's just his innate power. It's his one power that he comes into this world with. Everybody else is like wildly magic strong, and he's just like, I can find this drill hair Loli and her secret hidden door technique.
Did he call her a Loli too?
He did call
He
her a
absolutely
Loli
did.
all the time.
Absolutely. Multiple times, yes. Yeah, it's like all I can sense magic doorways and do calisthenics and aerobics.
Forget that he teaches them all how to do the radial calisthenics.
Oh my god.
This is how I stay in shape in between team death matches. While I'm grinding for spare gold on my World of Warcraft account,
Oh my
I
God.
do some stretches. It keeps me limber.
Stay limber. It's important.
You got to lift a Cheeto in one hand, and then you reach on over with the other one. Keeps you limber.
before we get back to Betty, I love when the radial calisthenics, when he's showing Emelia how to do it, he does like the bounce on the balls of your feet thing, and Emelia goes, "Ah, no, what are you doing?"
I didn't catch that. Did she like post up for a moment?
I only noticed it because I went back to get the B-roll for it, and in that one of those episodes, and I watched her do it, and she's just like ready to fight him. Like, she's like, "What are you doing? Stop doing that." It's weird, but yeah, no, I like Betty. I think the thing that gets me about Betty is just how loyal she is and like true to her word she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like super tsundere and like, please leave me the fuck alone unless you're Puck, in which case I'm gonna pet you.
I want Puck. Did she call her like brother? Is it brother or father?
Bubby,
or something like that?
Bubby. Let's just yeah.
Bubby. She definitely calls some people by a familial name.
Mm-hmm.
As like an aside.
I suppose.
Was it like, I think she calls Emelia her sister? Dang it, Muffin.
Sorry. I had to do it.
You can continue your thought.
No. Just say I suppose, that's all. No, I think
suppose.
I suppose. She like she doesn't really seem close with anybody, but she makes a promise with Subaru to, protect him after he's been smoked multiple times in the mansion arc. And she's willing to throw down with the master of the house to stay to her word. Like, I don't know, that's super like noble to me.
That was kind of funny to me because like I think the promise was something like protect me through the night or something, and
yeah,
like she considers morning time still part of the agreement. And I mean, I would have just been like, the agreement has changed.
I don't recall there being a time limit, I think was what.
Oh yeah, she's like, actually, I'm gonna keep you alive forever.
Yeah.
In fact.
Then she just lets him hurl himself off a cliff. But I guess that didn't count.
Yeah, she let that happen.
She did.
Come on. She broke her agreement.
But I don't know. I like that she was willing to, protect him at after she made the promise. And I really liked it. I don't know. It warmed my heart, even though she is very cold.
I just want to know what is in all them books. Like, she's always in this library. What is there? Is there a cookbook? Make the best cookies.
Do it.
Do it. We'll put appas in it.
Put apple pie. Sorry, that's such a good. It's a good one. I like how Betty and Subaru interact, especially near the end of the season when like he's just in there chilling and walking circles around her.
And she's just watching him.
Just see her hair spinning as he is walking circles just around her and thinking out loud. She's like, please stop. Please leave me alone.
She also definitely seems to know more than she lets on.
Mm-hmm.
There is the one part where she's telling him, hey, you're gonna die. And he's like, oh, shoot. And she's like, I mean, aren't you concerned about that? Like, so I don't know if like maybe she kind of pieced it together after that exchange or what, but like
I can see that.
There's the one loop where he gets to the castle and what he tells Emelia about Return by Death, and then she just falls over dead, and Betty just comes in like totally unsurprised, like, oh, you look like somebody who's having the worst possible day. And then she's like, how about you go die somewhere else? Oh. And then she like sends him through a portal.
Oh, that's right. He asked Betty to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she says something like, actually, you're gonna go die somewhere else.
Don't put that evil on me. And then, yeah, did she like teleport him away or something? Like, I don't remember how.
Yeah, she like teleported him into like a field full of those cultists.
Oh, and then they just like left him alone. They're just like, sup, boss. Anyway, yeah, no, I love Betty and how she's not willing to kill, Subaru like that. She's like, I'm not gonna do you dirty like that, homie.
As a quick circle around, I'm remembering now that was the loop where Betelgeuse was about to like mess with Emelia's body, and then I think Puck comes along and we find out that Puck's a giant beast.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Puck. I want to talk about Puck. I got things to say about Puck and how he is best boy. Puck is that fun uncle that everybody wishes they had. I love how him and Subaru interact.
Oh yeah.
When Puck just pretends to be, he kind of is like Emelia's like quote unquote like protector, like father in a way. But when Subaru's like, Puck's like, you're not good enough for my daughter.
Yeah.
And Subaru's like, I will prove my worth to you, future father-in-law.
just right in front of Emelia, not weird or anything.
And she's just all confused at what's happening. I'm just like, bro.
I think the best thing about Puck is he never seems to be in bad spirits, even when he goes into like super giant beast mode. He's like, I'm not angry, just disappointed. I'm gonna go destroy the world now.
Gosh darn it.
But
Per my contract, by the way, he says, per my contract, I must now destroy the world. It's like, bro, I didn't.
Who signed that?
Dang, that's quite a contract. Can I get me one of those? Like, how? Who can I talk to get that clause written into some kind of contract?
I feel like that'd be a major bargaining chip. Just tell people like, hey, the world's gonna end if I die, so just make me ruler now.
Yeah, no shit. Why wouldn't you just tell people that? I don't. Like, that seems like a thing that you should make clear to protect yourself. Just mutually assured destruction is the best deterrent, is some say.
Yeah, no, like I if nothing else, I wish there was more Puck. Like, because Puck, every time Puck comes along, that's like a break from all this super serious body horror, mind breaking, like despair.
True.
Like Subaru has the worst possible day 5 times in a row type stuff. Like sometimes you're just like, man, like I've been watching Subaru just like lose his mind and like go crazy for 5 episodes straight. Could I get like just a little bit of Puck, please?
Just a little bit.
I want the fun guy back. Can we get the fun guy in here?
I just want to watch someone pet him, please.
Yeah.
I like how every loop they come back and Subaru at the mansion arc, and they're like, oh, because you saved my daughter, you get what you can have any one wish from me. And every time Subaru goes, let me pet you whenever I want to.
It's like he was already gonna do that. Could have wished for anything.
And Puck and Emelia are like, wow, you have really low standards here, bud. Like, hey, sure. Easy enough to do, but hey, like maybe shoot have higher ambitions here, bud.
Yeah, well, he explains it away like, I just want what I want when I want it at that moment, and that's just who I am.
That is Subaru, isn't
That's
it?
just who I am.
Yeah, like he's always pointing in the sky and gyrating all over the place.
God, he loves gyrating. He's the king of gyration.
It just reminds me of Kamina's pose from Gurren Lagann.
Oh man,
You're right.
he does have a little bit of that Kamina bravado. He just doesn't quite have any physical ability to back it up with at all.
Yo, he actually is like straight up in canon the weakest person. The only benefit he has is return by death. That's it.
Yeah. He's got like a tactical advantage, but
Even like I'm trying to think of who the next weakest person would be besides like the 3 thugs in the alley that apparently Subaru can just beat up. But like,
no, the knife wins though.
the knife wins. True.
Knife wins.
I guess the little guy and the big dude of the thugs are probably the 2 that would be weaker than him. Just dude with knife beats dude without knife. That's just science. It's either Felt or Old Man Rom are probably the 2 weakest, but even they could like turn Subaru into a fine paste if they felt like it.
I mean, Rom seems pretty strong. I think it's just that like everybody else is like super duper strong.
Yeah.
She can't use like her. Oh, can she? I know she can use magic with the wand, like the whole like the wind magic, but I don't know if that uses up her magic.
Yeah, I don't. The thing with Felt is like I don't even know if she realizes she can use magic because everybody else like talks about their magic and stuff, and Felt's just like, I run real fast. I'm real good at jumping, and it's like it's Elsa that is actually like, hey, oh, interesting. We have a wind user here.
And like, I think she also says something about being very good at detecting lies.
Oh, she is a negotiator, isn't she? Because Crusch has that wind stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, which I would hate talking to someone that could do that. Like, that would just suck.
I hate doing that because they can't tell if I'm saying. They can tell if I'm saying a white lie.
Well, that just seems like such a broken superpower. Like, you could just.
It is OP.
Yeah. I feel like that could be like something you could hire someone for, like hire a wind user for negotiations.
Yeah, and that I guess makes it. I wish that they leaned into that a little bit more. The fact she has that power and that she actually detects someone lying with it, Crusch later, because it would make the negotiation scene carry more weight. That like, oh, Subaru overcame this. Like, show Crusch in a negotiation or something where someone lies to her and then she cuts off their hand for lying or something insane. Like,
what? Whoa, what?
We need to raise the stakes here, okay? We need to raise the stakes. The stakes weren't high enough for that negotiation scene.
I like my steak well done.
I think that if the stakes were raised for the negotiation scene, the success would have felt a lot better than just all of a sudden Subaru knows everything, and his relief after the negotiations would have felt more earned. But that's just I'm headcanoning fan fiction at this point.
As like a quick aside, anytime like Subaru loses a limb or whatever, like he dies within like the next couple minutes. Like he never has to like walk around with like a stump arm or anything.
He loses lots of limbs. God, how many limbs did he lose? He lost like 4 or 5 limbs.
Yeah.
What did he like he got his leg like beaten off by Rem, right? That one night.
He lost his leg twice to Rem. She cut off a couple of his limbs, and anyway, yeah, he's detachable.
Oh, and like and the Bowel Hunter.
Oh, the assassin.
Yeah,
who shouts, "I'll be back," and then never comes back. At least not in season 1.
She had a weird fetish.
She did.
These guts are just so warm and squishy. Let me play with them. Play with me, intestines.
Your intestines are a beautiful color. I just want you to know that. You're making a face.
Aren't they all the same color?
You don't know that. How many intestines have you looked at lately?
Oh, I mean, I've looked at none, to be honest. You see, you're right. I can't even.
I can't tell anybody's intestines from Adam's, you know? They all look the same to me.
But with wind magic.
Oh, she's jealous of the wind magic. That's what it is. I don't know. I think that she is incredibly overpowered.
Oh, 110%. Like when she was fighting with Reinhard, and he wasn't using his sword because it can't be sheathed right now or something like that. He said something along those lines.
Can't be used until it's required.
Yeah. And even with the normal sword, like he was going all in, but she was giving a run for his money. It was crazy.
I mean, and she essentially was taking on Puck as well.
Oh yeah, and Emelia, right?
Is supposedly very, very strong. Yeah.
I mean, Puck can end the world, as we've established. So
yeah, yeah. Like he could have just ended that little in if he felt like it. But maybe he was holding back. Who knows? It was like 5 o'clock or whatever.
That's true. 9 to 5.
That's God.
That's one of those rules that I'm like, that is going to bug me so bad later because I just know there's going to be some dumb plot thing that's like, well, this all happened after 5 o'clock. You're on your own. That contrived stuff. Just, I know it's going to come back.
I'm so tired.
I mean, that kind of happens halfway through the fight. Like, Subaru goes on this big, long monologue to, like, stall for time while Puck wakes up. And and then Puck shows up and he throws some icicles, and Puck's like, sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. Got to tap out.
Oh, I'm just so...
I mean, this looks real important. Please don't die. Otherwise, I'll have to end the world.
What a plot contrivance. But no, Elsa's Ada game is S tier.
True. S+. Ooh.
Ada. She's real good at it.
It definitely does feel like a power creep though, that like in the first loop Subaru is dying to an assassin, and then like a few loops later he's like dying to mysterious sky whales and what like end of the world creatures. It's like,
it's true.
The
Fact.
stakes are higher.
Fact.
Hello there, and welcome to the midway point of the episode. This is the first time you've ever heard this, but I've been here like 10 times, so I've decided to bring help.
Hi. You know, the first 9 times they were they just died halfway through. So we're giving Shark some support because it's we just can't record this again. We just can't.
Please, I want to watch other stuff.
Appreciate all of you for being here, for listening or watching on whatever platform you're listening on. If you enjoy what you're listening to, you should go and join the Discord. The link's in the description. We do watch parties for animes that we're personally watching. Preview. We do events where we watch the next series that we're going to be covering on the podcast, and so on and so forth. It's a fun time. All kinds of fun discussions about anime and manga are in there. So go and click it.
Click it.
Little clicky poo.
Just click it.
It's real easy.
You get to talk to us senpais.
Yeah. You want to be in with the cool kids, don't you? They got all kinds of cool kids in there, but you're not truly cool. Not to, I don't want to talk down to you, but you should get in there and be cool. Like the other cool kids.
I've been wondering offhand, where could I get a new shirt?
New shirt?
The one shirt that I've got is getting kind of stinky, so I need to buy an additional shirt.
You could buy an additional shirt. I've heard there's a really cool website that has awesome quality products and designs called www.prettyflyforasenpai.com. And you can go over there and you can pick up yourself up a limited edition ReZero piece of merchandise. We also have the B-Stars limited edition piece of merch still going to be up for a couple weeks after this goes live. And that I'm real proud of how that turned out.
It was really good.
I spent too much time on it, so please, someone go and purchase a shirt. Not to be too desperate, but
the shirts look fantastic every time. Time Muffin has such a gift. Hiro has been mugging this whole time. Like, he's pretending to go to the website.
Hopefully in the Audacity, you'll hear the keyboard clicks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, perfect. So go over to www.prettyflyforasenpai.com. Again, that's www.prettyflyforasenpai.com. All words, no numbers. And go pick yourself up some sweet merch. Limited edition merch and standard merch. We have standard logos that are available all the time. And we got the limited edition ones, though, that are only available for a limited time. So get your hands on the good shit.
So that way you can also look fly for a senpai.
Oh, shit. He said the thing. This is like he said the name of the. Start again from zero.
Whoa!
I love the whale. God, the whale fight was so good. The fact that they were able to weave in like multiple characters' backstories in there too, like Wilhelm van Estrella.
Wilhelm, my God.
I was not expecting to like Wilhelm so much. Like he just seemed like for the first bit like a background guy,
Yeah.
and then it's this whole bit with do you like flowers? And he's like standing there looking at this giant sky whale, and there's just one little flower next to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's about to get devoured. And a little flower.
he cuts his way out.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I thought it was going to be over
He's just like,
for him.
"Arrgh!"
He has this Shawshank Redemption moment where he cuts out of the way. He's just ready. I loved it. It's so good. The fact that he's very sprightly for an old man. The fact that he is just sprinting up the side of this whale as it's flying around. Oh,
he jumps off and like falls like 10 stories and lands perfectly on his ground dragon. He doesn't even need like a moment.
It's a well-trained ground dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't just cut out the other eye. It felt like he cut that first eye out pretty quickly and simply. I don't know why he wouldn't just dunk on the second one, like immediately. You just gotta do your weird sprint you did over the other side.
It begs the question, if you just cut the sky whale cleanly in half, like which part would keep going? Like because they can keep cutting off the mass of the sky whale until it's crushed by a tree, I guess. I don't exactly know the rules of the regeneration and all that. But like they should have just been lopping off pieces instead of slashing it, because like they were talking like it was like the mass was what was important. Like they had to cut it down.
That's right. They were talking about because he split into thirds and then they all weighed less or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Ricardo like mumbled in his like barely coherent state, "Oh, it's lighter now," which I don't know how he knew that, but you can just tell by looking at it. Oh, I could probably pick that up now. You know he could.
Ricardo never asks a woman how much she weighs because he can tell by looking at them.
Oh, I mean, he can.
It's his power.
He
Sorry.
can pick up anyone. I bet. I'm sure there isn't anyone on the planet Ricardo couldn't pick up.
Ricardo is so charismatic.
He's a beefy boy. I like his attitude, his whole attitude, everything, man.
He's just so positive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love that like he is like the first one in the fight too.
He did. He took point.
I think he was like the second person after Subaru. Like everyone turns away for a moment and Subaru's gone. And he's like, "I'm going, guys, Leroy Jenkins." And then Ricardo's like, "Oops, time for me to go too."
I do enjoy after they start suffering losses in that fight, how when everybody's like down in the dumps, Subaru continues to run in and Crusch turns around and goes, "Hey, if our weakest guy can keep doing that, then you guys can surely fight."
True.
And like the first time he'd run in, she was like, "Follow that idiot."
It's so factual too. Like it's one of the one times where his weakness is actually used for game.
He's inspiringly incompetent. Like if this stupid guy can do it, anybody can.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about Crusch. Let's talk about this whole royal selection deal.
Okay.
Let's talk about Crusch and the other all the these lunatics that are all going to be potentially running the country.
Oh dear God.
How they basically have like all like five major like gubernatorial styles. Like you got Priscilla, who's like, "I'm going to be a dictator." a narcissistic dictator. All of the country should live to serve me. Anastasia's like, yo, dog, let's talk about capitalism and the free market. Crusch's all about the military. Felt is all like, yo, tear it all down. And Emelia's like, everybody should have equal rights.
Which would that be like socialism? I don't know.
I don't even know. I think that she's just
like she doesn't exactly have a
She
platform.
doesn't. Her platform- you know, you're right.
She's got like the standard politician thing of like, I think all people should be equal and there shouldn't be poverty. World hunger needs to be addressed. I think we need to just be good to one another. Vote for me, please.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. It's like everybody should be treated nicely. Smile. Like that's kind of her whole platform. Like she doesn't have any real mechanisms by which to stop the injustices that are currently happening, which there are plenty. Like I think that's an interesting thing about the world is that they have, only demi-humans are allowed in this bar. Only lizard people allowed here.
Mm-hmm.
Lizard people only districts.
One thing later that kind of got me was a bunch of people are gathered together and talking about Emelia or like the royal selection. And the Appa salesman is like, well, one of them's clearly the wrong choice because she's half elf. And I was like, didn't you meet her in person?
Yeah, it's wild,
like
right?
you talked to her. She found your child for you. What?
Maybe everybody in this town is as dumb as as dumb
Yeah.
as dumb as Subaru to an extent.
I don't know if maybe they were just like, well, let's just use a character he's already met. But I was like, she has specifically helped you.
True. To be fair, the pictures weren't in color, so maybe he didn't know.
True. You know what? Right. They
Maybe they had
Could have been anybody.
a poor artist rendering.
One good thing about Subaru, he doesn't treat people differently based on what they are. Like how Emelia's an elf or like, Rem is a demon. I don't know. He doesn't put people down because of what they are. And just this whole show is like everyone's like big against elves and half elves, and because of I think the evil witch of the West, right, is an half elf.
Yeah, the witch of envy or the jealousy witch.
Listen, like even a misogynist has standards. Come on, man.
It's true. It's true. God, he is such a misogynist. I know we already talked about him and what an idiot he is.
But it just always circles back around. Because he is.
Yeah, it's funny how it's so central to the whole thing is that like he causes all his own problems.
He really does.
It
really does.
Is so true.
Really does.
I like how Reinhardt is Felt's knight.
It's so
she
good.
Doesn't even like him at all.
She treats him like garbage.
And he's like, I'm still pledging my allegiance to you.
They're like total polar opposites. I feel like Reinhardt's like all like law follower and stuff, but then Felt who just wants to rain chaos on everything.
She's chaotic neutral. He is lawful good. They are. I don't know. I like Felt's style. I like the spunk that she has when she finally agrees to be part of the selection. She's like, all right, fine. All you old fucks, you're all gonna die. Fuck you.
Get out of here.
You're all gone. If I win, you all can go live on the streets.
Which one would you want to be ruled under out of all the royals?
I think I don't know. I like Felt's style. I like Felt's style, but I don't think I could thrive in an anarchist society. But I think I'm gonna. I know that on one of our prior death loops, I said the only one I could survive under was Anastasia, but I'm changing my opinion. I'm gonna go with Felt because obviously Emelia's the correct choice.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like we should leave Emelia out of this because we know that's the right. It's yeah.
I mean, like she's the only one that's not like some sort of polar, end of the spectrum. Like she's kind of just the reasonable one. I would say Priscilla is way out because there's no way that like anyone but her is gonna benefit. Anastasia and Crusch, I think it really depends on like Anastasia, it like depends on whether or not like she seems somewhat compassionate enough that like she wouldn't at least be like selling people out for money, but I don't know.
I mean, maybe. Priscilla might have some pretty sweet gigs. Like, I don't know, you could be part of her foot-licking brigade.
True. Listen, if Priscilla lets like me be like a footstool, I'm all about it. Just put me in. I'm ready to live this life. Step on me.
Let's do it.
She needs foot soldiers.
I'm.
Oh my god! I can't believe you went there. We did it. We did it. Round of applause. Wrap it up, boys. Don't forget to tip your waiter. 2-drink minimum. That was a good one.
Out of anybody, I would actually. I think last time I said Anastasia. I think this time I'm switching to Crusch because she seems to be mostly competent. She's also got Felix and Wilhelm, who like all three of them seem to have like good heads on their shoulders. So I think I would pick them.
Pragmatic and reasonable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to, kind of like how you said, Time, if I wouldn't be able to survive in a world where like chaos is a suit.
It's the forever purge.
It's the oh my god.
Oh my god,
I
it's
saw
true.
that
It would
trailer.
be, wouldn't it?
It
Shit.
would be.
Shit, I need to change my answer, I think.
Oh god. So I think on the last redo, I did say Priscilla just because I just want to get stepped on, and I'm just gonna stay with my answer. I'm perfectly fine with where I'm going with my life.
You rolling with? Do you want to be a foot soldier?
I'm ready to serve, ma'am.
Ready to serve. Oh no. No, I'm just gonna stick with Felt. I want to be Reinhardt's buddy. He'll protect me.
Ooh, that is true though.
Let's have a quick talk about like what were you guys' favorite side characters?
I love Felix. Felix might be my favorite side character. I just like how competent Felix is, and how even when he has other people kind of fooled, like he's out sword training with Wilhelm, and Crusch is like, are we sure about this guy? It feels like he's just going through the motions, and Crusch is like, no, he's trying his best. And even Wilhelm to an extent is like, he's trying hard, and Felix is like, no, he's not trying hard at all, which Subaru admits to later, but Felix knew way before he even admitted it to himself. He noms on Subaru's ear, and it's adorable.
True.
Yeah, like Felix just has a good head on his shoulders. He's able to just every once in a while plainly say to Subaru like, hey, you and I both know that you're trying to fool everybody, but like, can you stop? Like, just smash your head against the wall and like trying to pretend to like improve yourself.
He does try to talk him out of being a doof. And Felix is the only person who is calling him out on his bullshit while he's out, like down and out after Emelia leaves, and he's there getting healed. Like Crusch's and Wilhelm are treating him with kid gloves, and Felix is like, you need to quit being a bitch about all this, okay? And Crusch's like, wait, Felix, don't do it. Felix is like, no, he needs to hear this. He needs someone to tell him that he's being an asshole. And I don't know. I appreciate the honesty and the forthcomingness of that.
I'm trying to recall. I feel like there was a scene between Subaru and Felix that got wiped in a time loop, and I was so sad because like they really felt like they connected for a moment there. And I was kind of sad about that because like Felix really seems like out of anybody, the person that Subaru should be going to the most, because Felix is ready to tell him what he's doing wrong, you know, and is also a healer. And Lord knows that Subaru needs a healer.
That's true.
I need a healer on me 24/7.
I'm ready for Subarix. Let's go. Subaru. Whatever that ship name would be.
There's probably a ship for it.
There's 100%. I'm sure if you I'm not going to Google it. But safe search on.
Oh boy.
Anyway, who's next favorite side character?
I would have also probably picked Felix, but I'm gonna make my choice Ricardo just because he's just so fun. I love any of the characters that don't take things too seriously because it's this weird mixture of people who are way too stuck up and people who don't care at all. And like Ricardo at least senses urgency, but doesn't take everything way too seriously, you know? Like he's a nice middle ground as opposed to Subaru who's always like, oh, whatever, you know? Like none of this is important to me and I'm going to say every stupid thing that comes to mind. And like Crusch who's like, maybe next time I meet you, I won't kill you because I'm your friend now. Like, but you get one, you only get one, and then I'll kill you the next time.
We are enemies and not lovers. I will not kill you the next time we meet unless we become lovers. Like,
and also kind of like those little cat magicians.
Oh
Yo.
my god, they're adorable.
they are pretty cute.
Was it Mimi?
Yeah, Mimi. Mimi's the captain or the co-captain.
I love her brother is like the like serious one.
The nerd one.
Yeah.
He's so good. I like how it's such a dichotomy between, because you meet her other brother who's the actual captain and he's a goofball like Mimi is, and then it's like, oh no, the other brother is gonna be just as crazy as the first one, and then he shows up and he's like, yeah, actually, pushes glasses up nose.
Hey, Shay.
Yeah, see?
It is kind of funny because like they'll be in like a total life or death situation and they're just like, haha, play catch with me. Woo! You know?
I love how their attack is to just scream at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah!
They're like the captains of like the second in commands of Anastasia's army or something like that.
Yeah, yep. Hero, who's your favorite side character?
My favorite side character, it's a toss up between the little cats and Reinhardt, because Reinhardt literally has everything that I like in a character. Red hair, check. Truth and justice, check. Giant sword, check. Just handsome, check. He's just everything that I like in a character, which confuses me that he's not a main character, like a main character, which is I'm okay with, because you know Subaru, we gotta. But I like Reinhardt. I love his whole thing he's got going on, and I can't wait till I see his giant sword.
Turns out Rurouni Kenshin is Hero's ideal protag kun.
Oh my god, Rurouni Kenshin. That's a different podcast time. Rurouni Kenshin. That's my 90s feels. Woo!
It certainly feels like a stereotypical sort of paladin type.
Yeah.
Where, you know, he's like, you have my word and my word is my life. You know, he like pledges his allegiance to Felt, and even though she like wants to take down the entire government, he's like, well, I mean, I pledge my allegiance, so
Sure, whatever. I won't have a job once she succeeds, but
I think Reinhardt would be able to handle himself during the chaos.
Oh yeah,
he's got the fancy sword, fancy magic sword. He'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Fine. It would have been cool to have had him there during the Sky Whale fight.
That would have been. It probably would have been easier.
Yeah,
I love how they always Deus Ex Machina Reinhardt and Roswaal out of these big fights. Just like, oh,
my god, true.
He had they had a conference somewhere that they all had to go to. That they just can't be here.
Yeah, I have a thing. I have a thing at the place. See you later. Good luck. Hope the world doesn't end while I'm gone.
I had to fly across the country. Yeah, I could be back shortly, but that's beside the point.
I could fly.
It can fly.
I can fly. Thought we were doing the Peter Pan joint there.
Oh, I was doing
I could
Shrek.
fly. I could fly. I could fly.
Oh my goodness, we are all on different That's okay. I'm all over the place right now.
Talking about I Could Fly, the OP in this anime slaps. Redo
Yo,
is so good.
OP1.
Yeah.
That first OP is so good. It's on my playlist at work.
I like how they don't do it all the time. And the same thing with the ending too. Is just like I don't want to say it's like after like a big thing happens and they do it, but you know when you hear the OP start in any anime, shit's about to go down.
When the OP kicks up in the fight with the big pupper in episode 11, my dude. Oh,
I was like, yes,
it's so hype. And like they do a good job directing around it too. So it happens, it's hype as fuck, and then there's like a little lull in the middle, and it goes into the lull of the song right as I think Brahm is carrying Rem away because they can't. They're out of energy. And then it picks right back up as Subaru's about to get murked by the demon pupper. And it's just such good music direction.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like it's appropriate since we're talking about the music. I wanted to credit the music composer Kenichiro Suehiro. The music did a lot of work. And the sound design too.
It did. Sound design was good. Jin Octagawa, he does sound design for so many things. He does Jujutsu Kaisen and 86 and Horimiya and all kinds of other Dr. Stone. He's so good. The little sound effects that happen when it's like a little trigger. It's like it's supposed to be like video game noises that it's like you've reached a checkpoint or here's key information, but like the little like with like reverb behind it when they like a new piece of information has been discovered or the shit got weird.
Yeah, like that sound effect now occupies a similar part of my brain as like the siren from Kill Bill.
Oh, that is true.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep, 100%.
And like I liked the sort of orchestral background music that would sort of kick in whenever like Subaru was sort of like having a bit of like a fight with, his own sort of feelings. He'd be like, oh, everything's so difficult, but I must push onward. And then the music swells a little bit, it's just like, yeah, I do feel like they did a great job of sort of syncing up the music to where it was appropriate, to really give you a feel for just the emotions and the lack of sound too. Like that was part of what made the cell phone bit real good too, was because of how quiet everything got for a moment. And then you hear the cell phone and that's the only sound at all. You're waiting. Yeah. Very, very good.
It's so good. It's so good. They really killed it. The music did a lot of heavy lifting in a lot of these scenes. The voice actors also killed it. Like I'll bring up the episode 15 Rem getting contorted scene and the scenes right after the episode right after when Subaru's trying to negotiate with Crusch and Anastasia. Like the way that they leave the frantic breathing in on the vocal direction it just adds so much more to it. There are a lot of scenes in anime where there are like emotional scenes and it's fine, but they cut out all the breathing that would be happening. Like someone's crying and you don't hear the, whereas you hear Subaru screaming at the top of his lungs and then taking in like a pained, labored breath. And it's so good.
It's raw and dirty.
Hey, that's what we like.
It's not sterilized,
That's what we like to see with our anime.
Oh no. You're Alexit Raw.
I remember like one part where like this is like tucked away in the back of my brain, but I remember one part like somebody was like had like snot coming out of their nose.
It's Subaru when he's when he's yelling at Betelgeuse after he's murdered Rem or mangled her.
Yeah.
and twisted her head all the way around. He keeps saying like, "I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you," and they do real good facial animation for that, including the snot.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, when watching through ReZero, I didn't see like any like Dragon Ball Super kind of mess ups, like how, because I know with certain animes they're trying to push it out fast. So I mean, I know some animations would get kind of screwed up, and people hand drawing certain things is gonna be bad. But with this anime, those like I didn't notice anything funky throughout the whole thing. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
You don't have any of those like low quality anime frames, like at least not very many of them, at least not noticeable. Like, you know, sometimes you see where someone's wrist is all jacked up and it's like the human body doesn't move like that. Like,
but you did mention Time Muffin because you were grabbing some B-roll that there's a lot of they do use a lot of sort of very still moments, but you don't really notice it.
Correct. They only do. It seems like they do that largely in times when it's expository, like very heavy exposition, where it's actually interesting and you have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the negotiation with Crusch and Subaru. There's a lot of, oh, the camera's on Subaru while Crusch is talking, so we don't have to animate Crusch talking for, you know, upwards of 10 to 15 seconds at a time, which is fine. I understand it's an industry thing. They've only got so much time, and they
spent all the budget on the Sky Whale.
They push all this stuff out, you know, while it's airing, basically. The series isn't done when they start airing the episodes. I mean, that's what happened with Promised Neverland Season 2, is they thought they were going to get to keep going, and then after episode 3, it got straight up canceled, so they had to jam all the stuff they had finished into the next, like, 4 episodes, and do a recap episode, and then jam the next 120 chapters into like 3 episodes.
Wait, so you're trying to tell me, I know this is on a different tangent now, that Promised Neverland Season 2 and that's it?
Correct. There it is. That is it.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow your mind.
Sorry for you to find out this way.
I thought they jammed a bunch of stuff into Season 2. I didn't think they jammed everything into season.
We will talk about
we'll talk about
Promise.
it.
We'll do an episode on Promised Neverland Season 2. There's meat there to talk about.
God.
Because I've read the manga before watching Season 2, because I'm like, I hear all kinds of bad things about Season 2. I wanna read it just so that I can see if these salty manga readers are right. And then I watched most of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what they did here. But anyway, we'll talk about that at a later episode when we get a break in anime releases and it fits, it all works out. But like, because of the production and everything, like, yeah, those still frames need to be there, but they don't skimp in ReZero with any of like the fight animation or choreography.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you can tell in that episode with the negotiation, they use a lot of still frames, but boy, do they go hard on the white whale fight and the Betelgeuse fight. And
even when Rem's freaking out too, like when she's fighting all the mod beasts, like it's just so good.
They can absolutely make a quality animation when it is called for, you know, like when that is like the centerpiece part of the episode or whatever, then they absolutely will make just a stunning animation, and they know how to sort of cut the excess in the right places that you really don't ever feel like you're looking at something that's like, you know, cheap, you know. They figured out the best ways to make it seamless.
Yeah, they do a really, really good job of it. It's the amount of blood, the blood fountains are fast and furious.
Oh,
it's I do like how we'll talk about, I guess, I liked how they were able to emotionally swing from goofy, funny moments almost directly into existential horror in like a single breath.
Yeah.
The episode where Subaru gets, he says, I'm going to stay up all night so I can see what killed me when I fell asleep that one time. And he gets dunked on by Rem. That happens in one of the funniest and happiest episodes in the entire series. And it's probably the most horror movie type scene where there's tension being built up. You're like, why is he sick? What is the sound that's following him? But the whole episode before that was a Subaru being a goofball.
Yeah. And like every time he comes back, he's just like sometimes he'll have just like experienced just like the most horrifying, insane thing. And every time he comes back, it's like in a room full of people. Like he never comes back alone. He wakes back up in the bed with like the maids. He comes back in the middle of right in front of the Appa stand in public, or like at the Sky Whale. He never gets a moment. He's always immediately in front of other people. So it's like, okay, I just experienced my whole entire body being just, ripped to shreds or whatever, but I got to keep it composed immediately. Otherwise people will look at me funny. And like sometimes people are like, you look like you have just had a traumatic experience. He's like, nah, I'm fine.
I'm glad the girls have forgotten about all his wiggly fingies.
Oh my god, the wiggly fingies. Woo. Can't stop me what I'm doing in my mind.
Sister, he's doing unspeakable things to us in his mind.
Oh no.
You can't escape me in my mind. Yeah.
I suppose.
No. Off limits. Betty is sacred.
I feel like if he did that, Betty would sense it and would like slap him.
Betty would annihilate him.
One little run back around to Rem killing Subaru, like that one where he's like on the ground with like, I think his legs chopped off or whatever. He's like, why are you doing this? And she's like, because you smell like the white witch, or you smell like the witch of envy. The witch of envy. You smell like the witch of envy. I would know it anywhere. And he's like, but why would you take off my legs? Because I smell. And he's like bawling on the ground, and she just like crunches him, and he's like going through his day just pretending nothing's wrong. And there's like a little sort of like high-pitched noise in the background getting louder or something.
I think the loop after that one is also the one where he is trying his absolute hardest to be friendly to everybody, because Rem just basically tells him, yeah, I don't trust you at all.
It's hard.
Yeah, he's doing the like fast talk thing, and everybody's kind of like, bro, chill out. And everybody else can see what's going on, but he's trying to push through it. And that's when we get the lap scene. And it's interesting. I don't know. I like that episode. I think Subaru's the pretty big goober in the whole episode, but it's kind of an interesting. Your friends and people who care about you can tell when you're not doing so good. Mm-hmm. Like it's just the way they put that into the episode.
Yeah, and it kind of goes to like you talking about how it can be goofy one moment and like super serious at another. Like I think I remember that, like, didn't he like cut himself when he was like in the kitchen or something? Like he was trying so hard to be like the best he can be, and he like cuts his finger, like, ah, crap.
Yep, we got a wicked blood fountain. His blood pressure's too high out of the finger.
But like when there is an emotional scene, it hits. When this anime wants something to hit, it absolutely hits. I don't think there was ever a time when I thought to myself, I feel like this was supposed to make me feel something, but it didn't. Like I never had that. I knew when like I was meant to feel something, and I genuinely felt it.
It's interesting how they take on all these different characters, like traumas and stuff. You've got Rem as, I've been treated like a second class, family member since my birth, being, they say, oh, one day Rem will be strong. One day Rem will be useful. Don't worry your sister like that. You know, what if your sister had died? You know, stuff like that. You know, Wilhelm's had family members get smoked, and you know, his wife died to the white whale, and it's interesting seeing all these people kind of have to, I'm not gonna say come to grips with their trauma, but like Subaru is almost a vehicle for some of these people to kind of heal.
Yeah.
Even though he's an idiot while he does it, and he's not doing it intentionally.
Yeah. It drives me nuts. Like when he's like talking to Rem about, look, I don't know the old Rom. I just know you two from when I met you, and from my point of view, you were the useful sister.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But he goes from like not being able to do something at all to like suddenly having these glimpses of crazy perceptiveness. I don't know, like same, you know, like with the negotiations, all of a sudden he knows how to negotiate. You know, out of nowhere he's got an inspiring speech for Rem, you know.
It's demonically inspired.
Demonically inspired.
Mm.
I do think it's interesting that whole, I don't know, as I've grown, the whole 6-episode arc where Subaru's being an idiot. When I was younger and I watched it the first time, I thought like, wow, everybody's being a real asshole to Subaru. And then this most recent watch, I'm like, wow, Subaru's really just a dick. Why would I ever relate with this man? He's being an idiot. Like Julius is just being nice to Emelia. He doesn't, it's the custom of their station that he has to smooch her hand.
He's just trying to be the coolest. So
The coolest around Julius.
Julius the
coolest.
coolest.
The coolest, bulliest.
Oh, man.
I will say now that I know after, because I mentioned this before offhand, where when I worked at GameStop, they had all these like weird figures of like this weird blue-haired Maid and this pink hair Maid. I didn't know what was happening. Why are they like naked on a freaking ice cream scoop thing? I have no idea. Now I know, and I'm just like, bro, can I go back in time? I would love to pick that. I would love to pick up a Rem figure, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm trying to find a body pillow, and I'll tell you what, it's hard to find body pillows that are not lewd.
100%. I can see that. I can see that.
I want to put it in the background of the stream, and it's just like I can't have boobies.
Oh, okay. It's a business expense. I see.
Yes, it's
I
a
see.
business expense.
Monka toss.
It's purely for props.
It's just for stream. What else would it
Just
be used for?
stream. Just for stream. I was gonna ask how your wife feels about it, but I'm just gonna leave that alone. My wife wants to put Rem posters in our bedroom, so I feel threatened as well.
That's what I like to see. Me and your wife got the same energy right now.
Yeah. Yo, there's an artist who does dope. While we're talking about Rem posters, an artist who does dope like streetwear anime characters. And it's the coolest shit. I just want to shout them out because we're probably just gonna get a print of that shit. Because anyway, I can't find it. But anyway, we'll find it and I'll put it in the video on the podcast on YouTube. Which, by the way, you should hope you're watching it there. I appreciate all of you for listening. Anyway, sorry, cut that out.
Cut it out.
Okay.
Cut that.
No, you cut it out.
We're not at the right time yet. Oh, any other fun little asides you guys want to talk about before we get into the dirty?
Oh, the dirty raw numbers.
The raw.
Oh,
I'm trying to come up with an innuendo and I can't think of one because.
You don't. It's not required. You don't have to make an innuendo,
but
you can just say it.
But I want to. No, we're good. Let's just move on from that. We'll just leave that one hanging. Hero, let's start with you. What are your thoughts? Overall general thoughts? Hit me with fat numbers. The biggest numbers, the girthiest numbers.
This anime hit everything that I personally like. Since it's kind of like in like a realm of like kind of like Sword Art Online and a Log Horizon and stuff. I think I like the music. I like the animation, the characters. There wasn't a single character besides Subaru that I didn't like. I liked every single character that we met. Everyone was good besides Subaru. So, and I'm just saying, now I have an obsession with Rem. So I think it's perfectly fine. I would give my dirty raw number of this anime 9.5.
Okay.
I wanted to give it a 10, but Subaru's in it.
I feel very similar to Hero. I definitely feel like there wasn't a single character aside from Subaru that I thought I wanted less time with. Just about every character that we came across was unique enough and interesting enough to hold my attention. And I definitely very rarely thought to myself, okay, this person's been around for too long. Can you like please get out of here?
I got there with Priscilla, I think. I think that was maybe the only one besides Subaru now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, no, you're 100%.
And just like there's this really cool world that they've built. The worst part is that Subaru is the one experiencing it. Like, it really kind of makes you wonder like what this anime would look like with like a semi-competent protagonist, because just Subaru is like the least possible equipped person to deal with any of this. But when the emotional beats hit, they hit hard. When they have something epic or like something important, they just knock it out of the park. I would give it a 9 out of 10. I don't have any huge complaints, but I just feel like sometimes the writing just tries a little too hard to like make Subaru be the goofy, dumb, haha, look how stupid he is.
Yeah.
I like that arc where he's just totally losing his mind for like 5 straight episodes was a bit much. Like at some point I was like, can we stop being around this guy? Like he's the unfun friend. I want to be around my fun friends now. But yeah, 9 out of 10.
You must be great at parties. People just love talking to you. They say to Subaru as he tells them for the umpteenth time that Emelia is going to die if they don't help him. Yeah. I'm hopeful that they do more character development with Subaru. He does develop quite a bit throughout the first this season. It's just I wish that they maybe make it like 20 episodes. Maybe cut all that middle stuff where he's just being a real butthole to everybody and like shadow betraying Emelia out. I don't know. Like it helps to drive the point home that he is just so insanely selfish.
Yeah.
And how much of it he is doing for himself. And at least he admits that at the end. But like you said, all the beats hit. All of the characters are fun, except for Priscilla. In my opinion, I don't know. The feet are the best, are her only redeeming feature. But I don't know, the themes that they tackle with the trauma bits, especially about Rem and Wilhelm are great. The fact that Wilhelm only wants to be a great swordsman so that he can beat the master swordsman, the woman he loves, in a duel, so that she can no longer has to be the master swordsman and risk her life as her job so she can be around him longer is great. I love it. The feels were good. I cried how many times? 2 or 3 times. Mostly when like Subaru is finally being honest with himself and like opening up and not being real toxic. The lap scene is real good. Yeah, I don't know. I do like the world, the fact that there are all these different countries and we still don't know everything about Lagunica and there are all these different countries in the world. It is super interesting, and I can't wait to experience more. I think I'm going to end up giving it I'm somewhere between an 8.5 and a 9, just because of the sheer density of the cringe in those few episodes is just it weighs down the rest of it for me.
Yeah, like 5 of those episodes could have been just like one long-ish episode.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need 5 straight episodes.
I get like, the whole, I don't want to say it's revolving around Subaru. And I know like I'm saying I don't like him and everything, but I mean, the story can't exist without the dude, but just why can't you just like, why can't you learn? Just tell him, you did A. Why don't you just learn from A and do B instead of A again? It's just, it frustrates me so much, and I feel bad because I usually like all the protagonists in every anime I've watched. This is probably the first anime that I watched that the protagonist is not my favorite, and it's just so weird for me.
He's almost willfully stupid. Like, he respawns in front of the Appa stand like 3 times, with each time the guy like, I've never seen you in my life before. And he's like, what? I've talked to you 3 different times by now. It's like, it takes him so long to catch up.
I'm wondering, because I've been thinking about Subaru, and would it be better if it was like a Kakegurui situation where the main character is just kind of an audience insert, like camera almost for the things that are happening? If it would be better or worse?
Like a first person kind of thing, like Hardcore Henry?
No, like in Kakegurui, there's a main character dude who largely just exists to exist. He's not really, he plays almost no part in any of the story outside of one event in the first episode and one event in the last episode and one event in the middle episode. But other than that, it's entirely other characters that are doing cool and exciting things, and he is just watching it for the most part. I wonder if it wouldn't be as impactful if he wasn't such an active shit for brains dumbass.
Yeah, like the redemption is so much stronger because he goes to such low lows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the dude in Kakegurui, he's just a blank slate for the most part. He's a dumbass, but he doesn't do anything. He's milquetoast as fuck. But I don't think that, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it is just better that he's Subaru's an idiot. We can just hope he gets better in the later seasons.
But anyways, so next episode is going to be Dragon Maid.
Kobayashi-san's Dragon Maid.
I'm so hyped.
It's cute as hell. Kyo Annie.
I am excited. I watched Muffin posted a mashup of the theme song with Psychosocial. And I had never seen the theme song, and even in the mashup, I was like, oh, this looks fun. Like, all of them are like shaking their butts and the tail swinging back and forth, and they got their arms in the air, just wiggling like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, I think, have either of you watched it before?
I've watched the first 3-4 episodes.
Okay, so this is going to be the first one that we have all not watched.
Yep.
Ooh.
All the rest we've seen, at least we've been primed before it. So, because I haven't watched it.
All right, yeah, I'm excited. Pretty jazzed.
I'm excited. Let's go. But until next time, continue to watch anime with Anime and my good friends. I'm Time Muffin.
I am Shark Wellington.
And I'm Hero 19X.
Someday I'll get this outro down. But...
Oh no, guys, look out. You're gonna die.
What?
Oh God, not again!
No.
Ah!